How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we are going over the week's news in one juicy video like we normally do, covering this week's news. And we basically now got the whole reveal of every card in the main set. We also have a look at all the TPs, the winner ones. We got some promos as well that are coming up with the 2023 tournament season, the regional season. Got some exclusive ones from there. We also got a look at some of the alt arts now, and also we've seen all the cards in the starter deck. So let's have a look. But before we do, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel out greatly because we're trying to get to 100,000 subs currently. So we're halfway over there. Well, over halfway there, and we're trying to hit that mark by the end of the year. And every bit of support is greatly appreciated, and I thank you all. So without further ado, let's go into the video and have a look and see what news we got this week. So, starting off, like how we started off with the last one. So, we ended the last one going with the TPs and stuff. Well, the last lot of reveals. So, continue on with the TPs for this one. So, we got some of the green ones. So, 3 of them we've got for the TPs because we got the another 8 because there's 16 in the TP. We got Great 8 Vegeta Last Stage Transformation supporting the old green Vegeta deck from, I think, I can't remember what set was now. Set 15 or something? I think it might have been set 15-1. Then we've got Android 18 Desperate Support supporting the Goku GT deck from the actual main set 20. And then we've got Brian de Chateau Elegant Fighter supporting the Universe 2 stuff and mainly support for the old Universe 2 leader back all the way from Tournament Power. So hopefully this signals that we're going to get a reboot or a new Universe 2 leader because that old leader is terrible now. It was terrible at the time, it's terrible now, and hopefully they do a reboot like they did with Bergamo for Universe 9. Because that would be sick. So, starting off with the Great Vegeta Last Ditch Transformation, it's a 4 cost, 19k. And it's an 8 as well, that's a great 8, like we've got most of the cards for the set. And, well, for that archetype anyway. And it's got critical and blockers, so we'll put some pressure in and block. And 3 skills. First one being an auto limit 1 for 1 green. When one of your green Vegeta cards with blocker and without Great 8 is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, play this card from your hand. So it's got that whole thing of if you've got the same character on the board that gets removed, that isn't 8, but you're basically transforming when it gets removed from board into the 8th version, which is the theme. So yeah, but it costs 1 green. Like the deck is not that great, and this card doesn't seem like it does anything to actually help it make it viable because it's not helping the underlying issue of no like incredibly big lack of draw and too niche and too gimmicky of a deck. And it's also got 2 activate skills: an activate main and activate battle. The activate main is limit 1. All the skills are limit 1. And for 1 green, if a filled extra card, well, if a filled extra is in a player's battle area, play this card from your hand, so you can play out that way. And activate battle limit 1, if your leader is a green Vegeta only card, your leader gets 5k power for the turn, so it gives a little bit of a boost, like a bean boost, effectively, which is quite decent. So, but it still doesn't help with the underlying problem of the deck. Doesn't really draw, and is way too gimmicky to kind of like do anything without with the lack of draw as well. Then we got Android 18 Desperate Support, so this is a cantrip, 1 cost 4k with auto when this card is played, draw 1 card. And then has activate main, limit 1 if your leader is a green Goku GT card and you place this card from your hand or battle area in its owner's drop, choose up to 1 of your green Goku GT Z battle cards and it gets 5k power for the turn. See, this would be a little bit better if it was for a Z leader or a Z battle card, give it a little bit boost. But yeah, it's only for Z battle card. And it's still not too bad. It's still decent support, but it's not that great. But at least it's not a promo that's going to be incredibly needed for the deck to function. It's just a still decent card, and it's not too bad. At least being a cantrip is quite decent for an option in there for any effect that needs an Android 18. Then we got Brian de Chateau Elegant Fighter, 3 cost, it's 15k with Deflect and 2 activate main skills. So for any 2 energy, if your leader is green, play this card from your hand and choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, no one barrier and KO it. Pretty solid. Like we already got Fade Rivals for that, but this is also you got different options for this because the thing with Fated Rivals is you have to wait until your opponent is on 3 energy, which could be either your turn 3 or 4 depending on who went first, and if they actually charge, because I remember I've played a game before when I stopped charging after 2, so they couldn't drop it, so they had that whole Fate Rival stuff dead in their hand and deck. And also, as well, it requires you to... Fate Rival requires 2 green energy, which requires any 2, and While they both require a green leader to pull off their effect, Fated Rivals also needs you to have a Sen or some like a Saiyan, Earthling, or Mechian in your Z energy to put back just to be able to play it out from its effect as well. And the interesting thing is, out of the two, one Fated Rivals has the barrier, this one has deflect, and it would be better. It would be better if they had those keywords switch around, because Fated Rivals has nothing to stop it from not being played. Like, it could be counterplayed to stop being played, or have like have its effect not go off when it comes in. So like a Cold Bloodlust, or before we had God Sealing, where that was kind of needed. And Brian does it as deflect, but the whole effect is in one. So if you pay 2 and it gets stopped from coming in, or effects negated, it's all in the activate main skill, so it all still goes off and still pops through barrier. So even though it's got deflect, it's still not going to be stopped from triggering this effect. You just play it with no more skills, so you won't get the ever activate main. So this is still like the only benefit of this more is that if you're playing a deck that doesn't always, like, you're playing a deck with a green leader that doesn't always charge green energy, this is pretty decent, and this cannot be stopped, because it's in the activate main. You activate that, it's popping the card even if it gets got Cold Bloodlust or anything like that, because it will win the effect of playing the card, not an auto afterwards, unlike Fated Rivals, and it's a quick bit cheaper and not as restricted as Fated Rivals, even though it's not too restricted. They have to bring out and get that barrier removal, so it's not too bad. But yeah, there is differences to playing it, but still, Fated Rivals has a bit more of a benefit to play that instead, because it's a 30k double striker that also pops for a barrier and then gives access to the Piccolo as well for a good little combination. And then it's got one that only works with the Universe 2 leader, being activate main for 1. If your leader is a green Universe 2 card and you have 4 more energy, and you send this card from it to its owner's warp, play up to 1 green Rubian card with energy cost of 5 from your hand, and that's any Rubian with a cost of 5, so that's either the one from the actual Torrent Power set, which requires you to have the other 2 of the trio in play to I think do something, or at least the leader does. Or you got the one from the draft box, being the triple striker that nukes your opponent's entire board and acts as a deadly defender one board as well. And if removed, gets to play out 3 costs or less from your drop, which is quite cool. Hopefully, like that would be a really good effect if it wasn't limited to Universe 2. Like, actually give green a bit of a boost in that. That would be pretty nice. But it's not. It's locked. Like a lot of good support likes to be for, well, not just for green, but for any deck. Things that could be very strong, but I don't see me locking it now. And hopefully this signals we're going to get a reboot of the Universe 2 lead, because the current one we've got is absolutely terrible and not with the times, and this does not do enough to bring that back either. So that is the first 3 of the TPs, and then we have the next 3 TPs being Android 17 Misuse Power. This is one of the cards that got leaked when we had that little leak from I don't know where, but when they revealed them. We got Majin Buu Control Magic, and we got Old Kai Power on Earth. So the last green card is Android 17 Misuse Power. It's a really nice one for the Android Super 17 deck. It's a free cost 15k, with unique and 2 activate main skills, both limit 1 and both require at least 1 green energy. First one is if your leader is a Super 17 or a Hellfire 17 card, both green, and a Hellfire 17 card is in your Z energy, you get to play this card from your hand, so you can have that get that ready to do the Awakening. And you also got the other one being if you have 4 more energy and you place this card from under a Super 17 card in its owner's drop, choose up to 1 green Super 17 card with energy cost of 8 in your battle area and switch to active mode. So it's quite cool in being able to trigger your leader's alternate awake condition a little bit easier, because it's Android 17, you need Android 17 and a Hellfire 17 to do the alternate awakening condition. And you can always use this to make, I think the 8 drop already has dual attack, or can attack twice, and you can make this, use this underneath it to be able to allow it to attack a 3rd time, which is quite cool. And it's quite interesting, the Super 17 stuff. It does seem a bit too gimmicky given like how Green's history in the game, but it does look like a fun deck, because I know most people are going to write off the green decks just because they're green, but that's their downfall, because that's what most people do with green. They underestimate it, even though there are some really strong and good decks at green. And we got Majin Buu Control Magic, like one I'm really interested in, because I really like the yellow stuff, because I do like one of my main color is really yellow, and this one is really nice because I like the Babidi pre-release leader, and this is a really good card for him. So it's got 3 autos, and it's a 2 cost 5k. First auto is if your leader is a yellow evil wizard Babidi card, When this card is discarded by your leader's skill, play off your drop. So when you're awakened with the Bubbly Leader, it also becomes you need to discard a card to then draw a card when you swing. And this gives a nice little benefit of being able to have something to discard, of being this card. And then we have the second auto, which is for the yellow Boo deck from the set, which is limit 1. If your leader is a yellow Imagine Boo card and you discard one card from your hand, when this card is discarded by one of your yellow Imagine cards, add up to one yellow Imagine card with energy cost of 6 or less from your drop into your hand. Now that's a weird one because you discard this off an effect to discard a card. You then use this effect to discard another card to be able to grab back a card back, so you're kind of negging on this. I don't know if that's very good for the yellow Imagine Boo. I haven't really looked into it, but this seems like a better one for the Bubbly Leader than the Boo Leader. And then the third auto, which is also better, a good one for the Bubbly Leader, is if this card has Servant, when it's got attacks, draw 1. And none of this is, none of the Bubbly effects are limit 1 or like heavily restricted. You can get 2 of these out, both give them Servant from the Bubbly lead, and then they both attack and draw you a card, which is really nice. And this looks like a really cool card. It's a really cool card that you're going to really need 4 of for the Bubbly deck, and I'm going to be looking forward to grabbing a playset of this. It's just really cool to discard this off lead to get that draw, play this out from the when you discard it, and then give it Servant along with something else Servant from the lead, be able to swing with it, draw a card, and if you want you can either put that or the other card back using the leader's Overlord skill to draw 1, so you get like a nice little benefit package from the Bubbly deck. And I should have a deck profile for the Bubbly deck that I'm putting together to try out when the set comes out later on at some point. Then you have Olkai Power Nerfed for the yellow Goku deck. So this is 1 cost 4k. It's cantrip, because the first auto is when this card's played, draw 1. And then the other effect is also limit 1. If your leader is a Son Goku or Vegeta card, both yellow, and it's your turn, when this card is switched to rest mode by a skill, choose up to one of your saying cards that gives 5k power for the turn. So that's pretty cool. Be able to give a be used as one of the targets, like for like the Hercule and stuff, to kind of rest for to put more cards underneath the what was it, the Spirit Bomb fill card, and also can like make it stronger as well, which is really nice. Because that's the thing of the whole Kai, is he's all there about to unlock your potential and give you a power boost. So that's for the other ones. Then we get to the last 2 of the TPs, and they are 2 black ones, being Zeno Universe Control, so another bit of legacy supports for the old Grand Kai deck, and also Fu Observing Overlord for the Cumber deck as well. So Zeno is a 5 cost, and he's got 3 effects. First one being auto. When this card is played, choose up to 12 of your opponent's battle cards with God or Universe in their special trait. And if you don't understand what it means if a special trait has the word God in it or Universe in it, you can then, it's a target for this. And you get to ignore barrier and negate their indestructible skills, because some gods like Zamasu have indestructible, and are removed them from the game. So straight up, I saw people getting annoyed by this, because then they're saying, oh yeah, this has killed the yellow Zamasu deck, this has killed all the U7 decks before it comes out, the Invoker deck, things like that, blah blah blah. But it doesn't really kill them. It just gives this removal deck, like, this could be attacked if any deck with God or Universe in their special trait becomes popular. This could be a good card to just drop to help deal with them, but it's not going to kill them at all. Like there's ways around this. So yeah, I think people just overact, like most people do when it comes to cards reveals that come out that look strong. But it's just a decent card, and yeah, it's not going to, like, I don't see how it kills the yellow Zamasu deck or any Universe deck. It's just a good card to use against them. And you're not going to be paying 5 for it, because you activate main limit 1 for 1. If you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So you've got to still wait to turn 3 before you can get to play it, which gives people a good amount of time to get it, unless they got heavy draw power to find it, or energy management to be able to get the energy back, because paying 1 for just this, 5k, is not that much of an issue. And then you got the active battle, which makes this work more for the Great Priest deck, which is limit 1 if your leader is a red Great Priest card, and there are 4 more colors in your energy. You use up to 1 multicolored card from your hand in a combo. And I think someone in my chat groups did make a good point of this card probably should have a barrier, because it's only a 5k for the Great Priest deck, so they can actually make use of this, because otherwise you're going to use it once on the turn you play it, and after that it's going to get easily removed being a 5k with no protection in the Great Priest deck, which is also quite a gimmicky heavy deck. A fun gimmicky, but still a gimmicky heavy deck. Then you've got Fu Observing Overlord. This is a 4 cost 15k, and it's got Overlord as well, so you've got more Overlord options there for the Cumber deck to make use of the get things off the board, and making use of the Servant skill you give into cards. And you also got Activate Main, limit 1 for 1 black. If your leader is a black Cumber card and your opponent has 2 or more energy and 2 or more battle cards to play, draw 1 player's card from your hand. So that's quite cool. You get the draw card as well, so you're replacing your hand while playing it, and yeah, it gives you more overlord options, which is quite cool. So Cumber looks to be quite an interesting deck, even though it doesn't really do much in terms of ending the game from the looks of it, but time will tell. And there are people with dedicated black deck players, which probably come through and show us all how to play it. So that is all the TPs. Then we move on to the next lot, being the winner ones. So the first 2 we've got. So if people were wondering what the four winner ones, we kind of knew that this Goku was going to be one of the winner ones, because if you look on the TCG Plus website, when it showed the application for the store tournaments coming up in March, then you could see this art as the photo art, which kind of hinted like, yep, this is going to be one of the winner ones. But then it was just guessing what were the other 3, and the good one for the winner one was being the Gohan. This is the red one. So these 2 are the first 2 very good ones, very good generic ones. Blue one being a nice one for any blue deck or World Tournament deck, and the Gohan being a very good one for any red deck as well. Like, these are really nice ones, and kind of like we've had from the past few ones, like chase winner cards that actually have some value to sell off or just get hold of. I'll be looking to get hold of some of the Gohan from my Freeze Prison deck, which would be quite fun. The nearer 2 we have is Brian DeChato and Zeno as well. So 2 other good winner ones. Brienne maybe not being as great, but still, if you want to play a different barrel removal option in green than Fade Rivals, you have the option in a winner form. I'll be looking to get this from my Maiden collection. So I did, because I really love the Zeno Maidens when they came out, when we had that deck years and years and years ago, and I'll pick up the stuff ready for it just in case they do release a new or rebooted Universe 2 leader. There's always that hope. And in Zeno, having a winner one of it, being almost the exact same art, like barely any difference in the art, unlike the rest will actually have different art, whereas Zeno has basically the same one, but just more like smaller pupils, like it's less psychotic. But yeah, some really good picks for the winners as well, like that. Then on to the next lot, we've got some of the SPRs. So we've seen all 15 SPRs now, and here are the start ones. So red only gets 1 in Analyzer. Blue gets 2 for Android 18, which is quite nice. So we've got the Energy Wave and Krillin, Android 18 and Krillin Future Spun by Battle. Like, really nice arts, really cool. And as you remember, we've seen most of them when people look at some of these, like we've had for Secret Rares, and they look at them, like, these will look a lot better in person than they do in just the shots Bandai have given us on their site. So bear in mind that even if you don't like them, they probably look a lot better in person. And then we get the next lot, we got the green one, so green got 3, and we got the Goku. Like, still we have no Z, oh yeah, spoilers as well. We have no Z card that's getting SBR treatment. I would have thought, given a new mechanic, and even like we had when the Unison Warrior series, we had Unisons that got SPRs. Still not getting any SPRs of the Z battle cards is quite interesting. Like, I thought they would have given some of those for make it a little bit more chase, but yeah, no SPR Z battle cards, unless they're treating it like the leaders, where there's no SPR for a leader, but we get some alt arts. That's quite cool. Yeah, so we got 1 for the green Goku deck and 2 for the green Android Super 17 deck, which is quite nice. And next up we get 3 yellow as well. So we get the kind of card that might be a chase card, being the counterplay Vegito, being like the counterplay Frieza Floodgate. Actually gets an SPR as well. So these are the good ones that probably be used for all the decks they're intended, being the Goku for the Goku for the Vegito one, and the Buu for the Budon, and then the Vegito being a kind of never potential yellow staple. All getting SPR treatments, meaning that they're going to be cheaper to get hold of, given that they got an SR and SPR print, and these are very good picks for the yellow one. I'll be looking to pick up all these from my yellow decks, because I've got at least 3 different yellow decks I want to play from this set, being the Goten with the new secret rare, the Babidi, and then the Vegeta starter deck leader as well. So look out for that from me. And then we've got the next, some black SPRs as well. So black getting SPRs of the Goku and the Cumber as well. So two really good black SPRs as well. The Goku looks quite nice. I'm tempted to try this out with Vegito, just to give it a try against side against black decks. Give yourself that way to, yeah, if they ever combo us off, you get it back and you get to use it as well. And the Cumber being a nice one, probably for the Cumber deck and for Black Broly as well, which is going to be cool. And then an Android 17 gets an SPR for the Invoker deck, which is quite cool. The art looks very nice on these. And once again, they look better. They probably look really, really good and a lot better in person as well. Then the last three we got is the Universe 7 Warriors combined for the Invoker deck. So a nice, the SPR art for that looks really nice. And then the two SRs, 421 deck, also get SPRs, so it's not going to be too expensive to get hold of those because you've got the SPR and the SR versions. That's what we like to see when we get decks that have like SRs, is that the SRs are more chase when they've got no SPR print of them, because then you've only got one print of them, making it harder, especially if they're a really, really good one, like say we've had before, like Black Smoke. We've had some of the yellow SRs before, have been more chase supers, and they're more expensive, harder to get, where if they got an SPR, then normally people are after the SPR and the SRs become a little bit cheaper. But that is all the SPRs for the set. Some really nice arts on them, like looking forward to this set coming out. I was a little bit more hype after seeing the SPRs than I have been with the seeing the reveals, but at least we got a trailer though. We did get a trailer as well, which I'll be linked in the description below if you haven't seen that. Yeah, if you weren't hyped for it, you could probably get hyped off that. So even though it'd be more hype if we saw that trailer at the start of the reveals instead of after all of them. And then we have some of the Vegeta. We have the starter deck reveals. So first one we got is the yellow Vegeta deck. So this is the they've got these are the first starter decks that have a Z cards in them as well. Oh no, not just Z cards. Sorry, because remember we did have Z cards before, but these are the first starter decks where you get a full Z deck included with them. And it's the yellow one. So yellow one being a Vegeta going all the way up to Magic Vegeta. Very nice flavor in how the leader leveling up goes from flipping over to Z-Awakening. And the interesting thing about them is the yellow one has a lot more better, has better exclusives, but barely anything in the set that has been reprinted or is good in today's meta. Whereas the Ever one, the Gohan one, isn't as powerful as the yellow one by the looks of it. Still decent, but not as powerful, but has better reprints in it. But yeah, this is one I'm very looking forward to trying out. If you want to see a deck opening, go and check out the deck opening of my deck box opening on my channel. I will be doing the Gohan if the store I got the Everyone for still has the Everyone in. But so on the front side, you just Vegeta. Auto when you attack, draw 1, standard in most yellow decks, and your Awaken is quite nice when your life is at 4 or less. Or you have 2 or more energy and a yellow Son Goku card with energy cost of 2 or more in play. Draw 1 card, switch on your energy to active mode, and flip your life. Take your life down to 5 if you're higher than 5, and flip over. So really nice taking your life down to 5 means your token negates are alive straight away after that, and get yourself down to 4, and then you can get yourself down to lower for your Z-Awakening. And then when you flip over, you now S is Vegeta Fighting Instinct. So when he fought against, I think this is when he fought against Goku, or when he's in the spaceship going for fighting Babylon's fighters. And now you have your alters the same when it's card attacks, draw 1. But now you have 2 activate main skills. First one being activate main / battle, which is once per turn, switch one of your SS2 Son Goku Destined Battle or Trunks Rambunctious Sun to rest mode as a cost. So you got to switch 1 or 2 specific cards to rest mode for this. And you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or units and cards switch into rest mode. And that's good because activate main / battle means you can do it on your turn or your opponent's battle step, which is really, really nice. And then you got never activate battle once per turn. Add 1 card from your life to your hand. This card gets 5k power for the turn, so very nice effect for defense to take a life, give yourself a 5k power boost for the turn, make you 20k, and help you get down to your Z-Awaken as well. Because with the Z-Awaken, you're the Z leader. It's a 20k base leader that requires 2 Z energy, and you have to be at 3 or less to go on top of SS2 Vegeta, or SS Vegeta Awakened Fighting Instincts. So this only Z Awakens on this specific leader, and this is one of the 5 Z leaders that can you the Z Awaken without paying any energy, which is quite nice. Like most of them are quite strong. Most of them are quite strong, but this is still a very nice one. It's actually quite a powerful one. You also get Z-Stack 1, which is a yellow battle card when she costs 3 or less, and you got 2 options, which you'll see in a sec. And you have 2. You still have 2 activate mains, but activate skills, not activate main. You got 1 activate main, 1 activate battle, but you no longer have the auto to just swing the draw card. But you still can gain draws while you still draw cards, because the activate main is once per turn, switch one of your Son Goku or Trunks youth cards to rest mode. So now you're not trying to choose well, at least this effect is no longer activate main/battle, just activate main, and you no longer have to choose two specific cards. It's any Goku or any Son Goku or any Trunks Youth cards, the rest mode. And this is how you draw, because you draw a card and choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, which is the rest mode. So now it's no longer during either player's turn. You no longer have to target two specific cards. You've got more of a wide variety of cards to switch. And now this is how you draw a card, and now you only switch battle cards to rest mode, not unisons. So quite a heavy difference, some benefits, some negatives, but still you still draw on this leader. And now you have a very strong activate battle as well, which is only one time use because it's add cards from your life to your hand, so you have one life left. And once you get to one life, you can't do it again. You have to take at least one life to get down to take your life down to one life. So this is once per game use, unless you rejuvenate, of course. And then this card gets 15k power and double strike for all the battle, and choose all battle cards, ignore barrier, and KO them. So you get a board wipe, which hits both your boards, both your board and your opponent's board, and become a 35k double strike for the turn. So you can kind of game end with this swing, is like similar to the yellow Trunks leads effect, where you can detach the card of Vegeta from underneath it to gain double strike and take your power for that battle, which is quite nice. It's the kind of same thing. So really nice lead and Z lead. Depending on some of the cards in the deck, so the two ever Z cards you get in the deck are SS2 Son Goku, Overflow and Aura, and Majin Buu, Despair's Revival. So the Goku is a 2 cost 15k with 1 Z energy cost, and it's got Z stack 1 being a yellow battle card, and normally one you're going to be putting underneath it is this Buu. And you've got two skills, so you got the one to play it out, which is activate main, being for 1 yellow if your leader is a yellow Vegeta card, or you have a yellow Vegeta in play, play this card from under your leader. So this is the main card you're going to be putting on your leader with its Z stack. And it's also really nice, it's when this card attacks, choose it to one of your Prince of Destruction Vegeta, Destined Battle, switch it to active mode, and then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and this card gets 10k power for the turn. So you get the restandard card to swing again, that you can use to swing again, become a 25k swing, and pop Link in rest mode, which is very, very cool. It's a really nice card. And then you got Majin Buu, Despair's Revival, 3 cost 19k with 2 Z energy cost. It's a dual attacker as well, and nice that also when this card is played, it can't be removed from your battle area by skills until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it can be run over by attacks, but it can't be removed by skills. No warping, no sending to drop, nothing like that. If you minus it down to 0, it still will go, because game mechanics override it, I think. But yeah, any other skills trying to remove it, it'll be stopped. Then you can pay it out for cheap. Instead of having to pay the 3 energy and 2 Z energy, you can pay it for the activate main, limit 1. For 1 energy, if your leader is a yellow Vegeta Z leader and you have a yellow Son Goku in play, normally it's going to be under this yellow Z Goku you brought out. You get to play this card from under your leader or a battle card. So normally you're going to be playing the Goku, using the Z tap, put this Buu underneath it, and paying 1 to play out this Buu from underneath it. So you're still paying the 3 energy, but you're getting both these out at the same time. And it's got a nice little activate battle once per turn, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, which is the rest mode. So the whole thing with yellow is like resting and stunning your opponent's cards, like keep knocking down the rest, and this card does a very good way of doing that for free with the activate battle. Then we have the last 3 exclusives from the deck, being SS2 Son Goku Destined Battle, one of the cards for the leader to switch to active mode, the rest mode. Prince of Destruction Vegeta Destined Battle, the card that the Goku Z battle card withstands, and Trunks Rambunctious Stun, the ever card that the leader on the Awakened side has to rest to get the resting or something. So Goku is a 4 cost 19k, which is unique. It's got 2 autos and an activate battle. The first auto is if it's your turn. When you use your leader's skill to switch it to rest mode, you draw a card, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, this card can't be KO'd by your leader's skills. So if you use the leader's effect on the Z-Awaken to remove all KO your battle cards, this won't be removed this. And it's very nice that you can bring this out and then rest it by your leader's effect, rest one of your opponent's battle card or unit cards, and draw one with this. And then the ever auto will trigger, where if you only have a yellow Vegeta card in play or in your Z energy, and it'll start your opponent's main phase, which is card active mode, and it gains block for the turn. So even though you're resting this for the effect to rest one of your opponent's cards, you then get the draw card from this, and then you get to restand it. You start your opponent's main phase and have it to block with, so you're still getting good use out of this using the leader. And you can get this out for cheap by an active battle. Limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a Son Goku or Vegeta card, both yellow, and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So easy way to get it out, you just have to go for combat. So it's a nice way to bring this out if you don't already have it in play. Bring it out for 1, play it, use the leader's effect to rest it, to draw what, so then rest 1 of their cards, for a nice little way to do that as well. And then you've got Prince of Destruction Vegeta Destined Battle. This is a 4 cost 15k with servants, so it's technically 25k, but it means that it's not going to be restood. by during your charge phase, so do note that. So as the auto limit 1, when this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 2 or less in rest mode and KO it. Additionally, if you have a yellow Son Goku in play or in your Z energy and you have 3 or more energy, this card gains double strike for the turn. So remember, with the Z battle card you can withstand this. If you trigger this out and then swing with it, you then, well, if you swing with it and you get this effect, it make it 25k double strike for the turn and KO something, you then get to restand this when you attack with the Goku for Z battle card and get another 25k double strike swing. So a lot of pressure you can get from this, which is cool. And you can bring it out for cheap by activate main limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a Son Goku, Vegeta, or Evil Wizard Barbie card, or yellow and you have 2 more energy, draw 1 card and play this card from your hand. So that's really nice. It's like a cantrip. Play this out. Play a 15k, 25k card out by drawing 1 for 1 energy, and it works with all 3 different yellow, well, 3 of the yellow different decks, because this set has 4 different yellow decks with either this leader, the Evil Wizard Barbie pre-release leader. Oh yeah, because it gets 5. Yeah, 4, no, it does get 4. Sorry, 4, not 5. Or the Son Goku one, or Son Goku Vegeta. So you can use it with the old yellow Goku deck, this yellow Vegeta deck, the Barba the pre-release leader, and also the Vegeta in the set when you flip over and becomes a yellow Vegeta and Goku. So quite a few different decks you can play this with. That's quite a strong card and a good reason to buy 2 copies of the starter deck if you're playing any of those decks. And then you have Trunks from Amongst Your Sun, being a free cost 15k with 3 autos. First one, limit 1 for 1 yellow. If your leader is a yellow Saiyan card, when you add one of your yellow cards to your Z energy, play this card from your hand. And then you got the auto. If you have 3 or more energy and you have a yellow Vegeta card in play or in your Z energy, when this card attacks, it gains 5k power and double strike for the turn. So it's not too bad. Quite a nice little pressure card. And also, when you use your leader's skill to switch this card to rest mode at the start of your opponent's next turn, well, until the start of your next turn, this card can't be KO'd by your leader's skills. The same thing with Goku, where if you rest this by your leader, you then won't get this KO'd by your leader's effect. And this provides a nice little bit of pressure play and a way to bring this up during your opponent's turn as well, so you can use the effect to rest one of their cards by resting this, which is quite nice. So that's all the cards from your starter deck. Then we move on to the Gohan one. So for Gohan 1, this is the leader, being Son Gohan, which flips over to Son Gohan, Command of the Universe 7. And this deck doesn't get as the leader, as you can see, because otherwise it would be next to these 2. And this is quite an interesting one. So on both sides, you've got War of Universe 7, meaning that any card with Universe 7 is a special trait that has no specified cost. Or it's treated as no specified cost. And on the front side, it's got a horrible little permanent where you can't include non-Universe 7 battle cards or multicolored cards in your deck. So even though you've got effects that require different types of energy, you can't put multicolored cards, and you can't put any tech cards that aren't Universe 7 in your deck, which is a big shame. So quite a heavy drawback, but it doesn't seem too bad. This deck does seem quite fun. So it's also, on the front side, is when its card attacks, draw 1, standard, and its Awaken is quite nice, and when your life is at 4 or less, or there are 4 or more colors among cards in your energy, Z energy, battle area, drop, and warp, you may draw 1 card, switch one of your energy to active mode, add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 life left, and then flip over. So only the main thing with this is you can Awaken similar to the Bardock leader by having universe cards of different colors in different areas, and 5 different areas, which is a good shout. But you take your life down to 6 instead of 5, so you don't have the token negate. But then you can still play the SSB Vegeta Z battle card in your Z deck, because remember, these kind of permanent restrictions don't affect the Z deck, they just affect the main deck. And now when you flip over, you Son Gohan Command of Universe 7, you still have the War of Universe 7 tag, still have the auto when this card attacks, draw 1, but then you have 2 activate skills, being activate main and activate battle, require certain colors that pay for in your energy. Neither of them are green. So they're both once per turn as well. First one, activate main for 1 yellow or for 1 black. If you have 3 more energy, play up to 1 Universe 7 card with original energy cost of 3 from your hand. So that's quite decent. You've got a fair few good free cost Universe 7 ones that you can play off this. Like there's the Android 18 free drop blue one that you can draw 2 cards when played. You've got a fair few others as well that you can play out. You've got the one that's mainly used in red as power removal that you can play out, and then KO your opponent's battle cards of a certain power, which is quite nice. So you've got some good targets for this, so that's a really nice ability. Then you have the activate battle once per turn for 1 red or 1 blue. choose up to one of your Universe 7 Son Goku Adolescent Z battle cards and play up to one Universe 7 Z battle card without Son Goku Adolescence with energy cost of 2 or less from under it. So if you've seen the Invoker deck for the Universe 7 cards for the Invoker deck in set 20, they have this whole thing when they play like Russian nesting dolls over each other. So place them underneath them and keep switching out back and forth under them. And this gets a nice little benefit of playing them from underneath like the little nesting dolls. So that's the leader. Then we go into some of the cards. So we've got some of the Z cards for it. So we've got 3 Z cards and 3 normal cards. Well, normal battle cards at least. So you've got Sun Gohan, Master Student Technique, Piccolo, Master Student Technique, and Frieza Unexpected Assistance. So Gohan is a yellow one. That's 2 cost, 16k, that requires 1 Z energy. Has blocker and Z stack 2, being Universe 7 battle cards with different character names, so you can't place the same ones underneath it, the same character. And also, when this card is played from your Z deck, this card gains barrier until the end of your opponent's next turn to give it a bit of protection, so you can actually make use of the leader's effect. And you got the activate battle limit 1 if there are 4 more colors among cards in your energy, Z energy, battle area, drop, and warp. And it's your opponent's turn. Play up to 1 Universe 7 Piccolo Z battle card with energy cost of 2 from under this card and place this card under the played card. So that's really nice because you got this Piccolo here, Piccolo Master Student Technique, 2 cost, with 20k power and 2 Z energy. And this was a nice effect. When played, at the end of the turn, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and it gets minus 20k power for the turn. And you also deactivate main limit 1 if there are 4 more colors among cards in your Z energy, battle area, drop, and a warp. Play up to 1 Universe 7 Son Gohan Assistance card, Adolescence card with entry cost of 2 or less from under this card and place this card under the played card. So once again, you get this nice little flippity-doos where you can basically play it to Gohan, gets barrier for the turn, and sees that put Piccolo under it. And then you get to during your opponent's turn, block, then use the activate battle to play out the Piccolo and put this card under it to basically end the battle, and then play out this Piccolo, which then trigger the auto going off. Then if the Piccolo survives during your turn, you can then swing with it, and then use the activate main to bring out the Gohan back out, and then place the Piccolo underneath it, and you have to go on the block, keep doing that, flipping back and forth, using that as a nice little combination, which is quite cool. And remember, it's got Z stack 2, so any other card you put underneath it will also follow the cards underneath it, I think. So you won't be losing those either. And then we got Frieza Unexpected Assistance, 1 cost 10k, it requires 1 Z energy, blocker, and also when a Universe 7 Son Goku in your battle area is attacked, negate the attack, and negate the skill for the game. So a weird effect on this, but still, it's an option to have a 1 cost blocker for yellow, for green, if you need be as well. So there's 3 Z battle cards. Then you have the other cards in the deck, the exclusives. So you've got Piccolo, Piercing Flash, Krillin, Clever Fighter, and Android 18, Perfect Teamwork. All Universe 7 cards in blue, yellow, and green. So we've got Piccolo being a free cost 20k with Double Strike. When this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and place it at the bottom of his deck. And remember, you can play this one out from free from your lead as well. So you get players out for free in bottom deck when your opponent's cards. And being a 20k Double Strike is quite cool. Then you have to deactivate main limit 1 for one energy if your leader has Warriors Universe 7 card. Well, if your leader has Warriors Universe 7, choose up to one of your Universe 7s and go on Adolescent cards with 2 power or less and switch to active mode. So nice more combinations with these E cards you can pull off. Then you have Krillin, Clever Fighter, 1 cost 4k. Also, when this card is played, look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck, add it to 1 Universe 7 card with entry cost of 3 or less among your hand, and shuffle your deck. Nice little searcher. And then auto limit 1 for 1. Send this card from your drop to your warp. When an Android 18 Perfect Teamwork card is placed in your Z energy, from your Z energy to your drop, play that card. So you get to reuse the Android 18, which is cool. And then Android 18 Perfect Teamwork, free cost 15k. Also, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with entry cost of 5 or less to KO it. So you've got a nice little bit of removal in that as well. But then you prefer to play the Piccolo, just bottom deck the card instead of KOing it, because some cards can't be KO'd. And Piccolo just chooses any battle card and bottom decks it. And you've got the activate battle limit 1 for 1 if your leader has War of Universe 7 and a Universe 7 card is in your combo area and it's your turn. Draw one card and play this card from your hand. So you get to play this out in mid combat to pop something 5 or less. So that's a nice little combination with that. And also draw cards you replace in your hand. So some really nice cards here for the starter deck. The starter deck actually seems a bit more interesting than when I first looked at it. But I don't see myself playing it, even though it looks like a fun niche deck. So that's it for Star decks. Then we move on to some of the regional promo cards. So we have actually better look at some of the cards without having to squint, and we got all 5 of them, and they all support their respective colors without being heavily archetype blocked, but can still be played in their respective decks that they're kind of made for, but they're more generic. So we have the first one being the red one, being SS Brody Surging Attack. It's a free cost 15k with critical and servant, so it's technically 25k, which is very nice. And it's got a nice little auto of when this card is played. You can't play copies of this card for the turn and choose one of 2 effects. You either choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power or less and KO it, or you get to choose one of your non-Overlord leaders, and that card gains Overlord once per turn for the turn. So just in any generic red lead, you get to play this out, and normally you're going to be choosing the effect to give your leader the Overlord for the turn because it's got Servant. Swing with this with 25k crit, and then use leader to bottom deck this to draw a card, so you get off the board so you can play more in later turns, which is really nice. But you can't play on everyone that turn if you play it because the auto. And then you got the activate main for 1 red. If your leader's red and your opponent has 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand just for 1 red. So it's really easy to play. If your opponent just has 2 more energy, so if you're going first, you're playing it on your turn 3. If you're going second, you play it on your turn 2, and get a nice 25k critical swing. And if people hated the fact that Red Sin had that very early like that, in just Red Sin, imagine having every red deck be able to have that option, and then be able to sack it off the draw card afterwards as well. Yeah, I don't think people are gonna like that being in any red deck or any and every red deck. Then we have for the blue one, we have SS2 Trunks Emotional Blow, 5 cost 20k with critical. Permanent, where during your opponent's turn, if all of your energy is mono blue and you would reveal this card from your life and add it to your hand, you may play it instead. So it's something that you got that kind of effect with any deck, as long as all your energy is mono blue, you normally have this effect just with the blue Trunks lead. And then you have an auto once per turn. When this card attacks, use it to one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and negate indestructible, and place it at the bottom of his deck. So straight up removal to the bottom of the deck, ignoring barrier, was very good for blue. And you get a way to play out cheap by activate main limit 1 if your leader is blue and your opponent has 3 more energy, and you have a blue battle card with energy cost of 8 or more, or an original power of 3000 or more in play. Play this card from your hand. So mainly used to play with the mainly used to play with the Trunks lead, but if you're blue deck, then easily bring out an 8 cost or a 30k power or original power battle card. You can play this out for quite cheap, which is quite cool. So once again, still be able to be played in any blue deck. And then for green, we have Cooler Armed Force. This is a 5 cost, 20k power with barrier and double strike. Also, when this card attacks, choose one. You either choose one of your opponent's battle cards to KO, or your opponent discards 1 card from hand, not once per turn as well. So you can restand this as we'll see in a sec. Because he's got 2 activate main skills. The first one being for 2 green. If your leader is green and you have 3 or more energy, play this card from your hand. Now the only annoying thing about this card is even though it's still really good, it still is more costly than all the other cards. Like green is in just general. It's more expensive, requiring 2 energy, where all the rest require mostly just 1 energy to play out for cheap. So there's no reason why this couldn't be a 1 cost. Like he's even got Fade Rivals, which is just bigger and better than this. That pays for 2 green. This could have been just 1 green energy, but Bandai like to make the green cards cost more than you need, which is really frustrating. Then we have the activate main limit 1 if you have a Z battle card with energy cost of 2 or more in play in your battle area, switch the card to active mode. And that's the annoying thing as well. You need a Z battle card with energy cost of 2 in play to allow this to restand. And so that's going to be doing it in 1 turn. That's going to require 4 energy, which most of the other ones they probably require 3 energy or less, or even less than that, to be able to pour them off a lot easier. So that activate main should have been 1 green and not 2. That's my only gripe with this, but still a good card and very nice one. And then we have the other 2. So the yellow one is Sin Shenron Cold-Hearted Shadow Dragon, a 4 cost 24k with Deflect, unique barrier blocker. Also counterplay, where you get to draw 1 card and play this card. And you also have a permanent to make it cheaper as well, where if you have a total of 7 or more cards in your Z Energy, battle area, and drop, produce this card in your hand by 2. So very easy to pull this off. And even though this is also a 2 cost similar to the Cooler, This card has all those keywords being deflect and barrier together, which should be on a single card. Also has blocking unique, and also you draw a card to replace it, which you don't with the cooler. So all we can see, the cooler, just because it's green, it's costing more, and with not as much of a benefit as the other ones. And then you got the auto, if your leader is yellow, just yellow. When your opponent plays a battle card, you may choose that card and negate its skills for the turn. If you do, negate this card, switch this card to active mode and negate this skill for the turn. So you can use this as a very good counterplay to bring it out, because remember when you counterplay, as long as it's counterplay window 1, you play this out before the card actually comes into play. So you can have it in play ready to trigger the auto after the card you're playing it against comes into play. Just negative skills, which is cool. Then you have the SS4 Vegeta Heated Fighting Spirit, 6 cost 30k, overwhelm 6. With an auto, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards sent to his own warp. So straight up, the Dark Broly Overwhelm has been straight up replaced, and it's been power crept after what, 1 or 2 sets, like very quickly, because this does exactly the same as that Dark Broly Overwhelm, except now it has a 5k combo cost. It has 5k combo, so it does exactly the exact same stats, just different character, but has 5k, actually has combo power. And the only benefit you would have of playing Dark Broly over this is in a black deck, because you can play it from your warp for 2 energy. But even then, you got the activate main, limit 1 for 1 black. If your leader is black and your opponent has 3 or more energy, you have a Son Goku Zeno with original power of 3000 or more in play. Play this card from your hand, and this card gains critical for turn. So you also have this way, which any black deck is not probably going to be playing the Son Goku Zeno, the Son Goku, SS4 Son Goku Beyond All Limits, which you can overrun for free. Grab this back from your warp and then play it out to have a 30k critical and have 2 30k swings. So yeah, this is a power creep of the Dark Broly Overwhelm. Any deck can play a lot better, and also then has a big benefit with black decks to get this out for a 1 critical if you're playing the Goku as well. So it's a very good card, and it's going to be a very sought after card as an overwhelm choice to replace their Dark Brolys. So that is the promos, and then we have some of the collector's arts as well. So we now get to see some of the alt arts for the collector's edition. So let's have a look at those. We've only got a few. We've got some of the new ones. Not going to go over the effects because we've already been over them. So we got the SSG Son Goku Rapid Fire Response and the Son Goku Daring Onslaught. Son Gohan Daring Onslaught. And then we got a blue one in the SSB Son Goku Beyond Full Power. So these points are quite nice. They got this nice little fire on the bottom stats bar where the power and the traits are. So a nice little bit of fire on that was cool. And you got a little different. You don't have a scouter anymore. They have this cool little icon on top and some lightning on the combo area or the Z cost, which is quite cool. And kind of like a different kind of background being all electrified with the same color as well. So it looks quite nice. Then we have some more blue ones as well, so you can see they look quite cool. We got never 2 blue ones. I can't remember if all cards come in this alt art in the collector's box or if it's a select few. But these are some of the ones they've revealed so far, so they look really cool. They look really nice. Some of these cards. They look decent alt arts. They don't look too amazing to me to actually want to pay the price for one of those collector's boxes because they're a lot more expensive than normal ones. But there are some nice arts on these as well. So these are all the main sets. We've got some more green ones, and yeah, they look quite nice. I do like the thing in the top corner where the cost is instead of the scouter. That looks quite cool, and the fire on the bottom looks pretty cool for the bar. But nothing in this makes me want to get a box of this just to chase some of these. But we'll see when we come to the leaders, because the leaders in this set become dual-sided foil, which is quite nice. And then the last one we got is a secret rare. So the first secret rare we saw in the alt art is Golden Cooler, Radiant Pride. And this doesn't scream to me as like premium collectors alt art. I wouldn't guess that this isn't a alt art in the collection or is a better alt art, because if you compare, I would have thought the other one, the normal set art was the alt art instead of this one. This looks like it's it doesn't look premium or is this doesn't look like a better version in the alt art than it does in the main set. Still nice art, but it doesn't scream collector's edition to me. But yeah. But that is it for all the reveals this week. So that's it. So quite a few reveals, but still quite quickly to go over them. Well, I say quickly, quick enough to go over them. So this has been me with the latest episode of Previous in DBS CG. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one coming soon. Bye for now.